As I stood in the entrance porch to school watching my father drive away, I had no idea of how the coming years would impact my life. It was early September 1969, and my father and I had just driven across Europe from our home in Lebanon. It had been an exciting time and an opportunity to enjoy having my father all to myself. But it had also had its moments of anxiety as I made my way to Scarisbrick to begin life as a boarder. As my father disappeared down the long drive, I turned and entered what would be my home for the next 4 years. Little did I know that just at the end of the drive, my father had stopped to compose himself as he wondered if he and my mum had done the right thing in sending me back to England for my education. If I had a time machine, the first thing I would do would be to go back to reassure him that more than 50 years after our parting, I can look back on my time at Scarisbrick and reflect on how in many ways it helped set me up for life's journey. After the first week or so, I was settled into school. Life was alright, and soon I'd made friends, learnt the routines of school life, and started to realise that there were quite a lot of things that I'd missed out on while going to school in the troubled Middle East. I was never the most diligent student. Actually, the word to use is lazy. But then school is more than just about subject matter learning, isn't it? School is also about community and learning to be a member of that community, learning to interact with people from different backgrounds, with different priorities, and with different skills and abilities. As you might expect, over the 4 years I was at Scarisbrick, starting the 4th form, year 10 into today's currency, and ending in the upper 6th, life had its ups and downs, but for me the overall experience was a positive one. As you might also expect, there were quite a few teachers who had a positive influence on me, and I continue to be grateful to them. In spite of my general lack of academic ability, they remained patient, encouraging, and when needed, strict. Mr. Oxley himself set high standards, and those permeated throughout the whole school. Mr. Kimber, Mr. Rayner, Mr. Sutton-Smith, Mr. Walker, Mr. Ryde, Mrs. Thomas, Mr. Roberts and Mr. Griffiths are some of the teachers who I can look back on and see how they have impacted my future life. As the school celebrates its 60th anniversary, I'm sure there are many past pupils who would reflect positively on their time at the school. And in some ways I envy those pupils of the present generation who are experiencing what being at Scarisbrick Hall School is all about. As the school moves forward into a new decade, I say congratulations on all that you have achieved and best wishes for all that you will do in the years ahead.